Hi there everybody, it's Carl here from Tesla Model 3 UK, and today I'm going to talk about the favourite things I have about my Tesla Model 3. I've had it for 7 weeks now and I've done nearly 2,000 miles, so I think I've got a pretty good representative amount of mileage under my belt. So let's have a look what I like about it. These are not in any particular order, they're just a bunch of things that I wrote down as they came to me. So first of all, Autopilot on air roads. So the car has, I don't have full self-driving, which is a misnomer anyway, but I've got cruise control, which is the automatic cruise control that a lot of cars have, and I've also got autopilot. Cruise control keeps your distance from the car ahead, slows down, speeds up, etc. Typical automatic cruise control stuff, stops you having an accident. Autopilot also tracks you in the middle of a lane and will keep you again the distance from the car ahead, but it will also go around bends. So if you're in a motorway and the motorway goes around to the left or the right or whatever, it will follow you around. So it gives you a nice relaxing drive. You can concentrate on what's happening around you. It's very, very good on A roads, dual carriageways, motorways. When you see the other video, you realise it's not very good anywhere else. But for long distance driving, if you're driving 50 miles up the M1 or down the A1, it's going to be really good, and it's going to make it a much more relaxing and comfortable drive. Okay, the next thing is the efficiency. Now, every time you see a car, whether it's a petrol car, a diesel car, or an electric car, you will obviously looking at the MPG figures or looking at the efficiency figures and thinking, it's never going to do that. Well, what I found is that obviously depending on how you drive, but the Tesla has actually outperformed what I expected it to do. Now, it is summer, the weather's been warm at least for the most part, and obviously these figures will get worse in the winter, but every time I've driven it so far I've actually done better than expected, to the point that if I'm driving on a single carriageway A road and doing 55 miles an hour, something like that maximum, I'm getting 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and I think is probably better than any other electric car out there. I think Tesla are just so far ahead of everyone else at the moment. Even Renault and Nissan, which are really good, I think the Tesla seems very, very good. Okay, acceleration. I've got an SL Plus. It's the slowest Model 3 you can get, and I drive it in chill mode most of the time because I'm a fairly chill driver. I'm not in any particular hurry to get anywhere, and it doesn't really help anyway. Even in chill mode, it's got plenty of pickup. You put your foot down and it's going to go. Put it in standard mode and it's going to be one of the fastest cars on the road. Get a performance and it is going to be one of the very fastest cars on the road, no matter how much money you spend. So acceleration is absolutely superb. Okay, you should never be looking at a Tesla Model 3 and thinking, well, it's a little bit slow for my liking, unless you're a nutter. Okay, the rear view camera, it's got a big screen. It shows the rear view camera on the big screen. What's not to like? I hate reversing. I'm terrible at reversing, and having that big screen and the lines on it when you're reversing, which track the direction that the back end of the car is going in, make it much easier to use than most. Now, the interior, some people don't like it. They say it doesn't look like a luxury car interior. Think of it this way: Scandinavian minimalism. Okay, that's the best way to look at it. I have a black interior which has pale wood on the dash. I actually think it looks superb. I like the fact that everything is on that screen and there's very little place else to look. So, to me, it's a superb interior. Going along with that are the seats. Now, the seats in that car are some of the best seats I've ever sat in. It's one of the most comfortable cars to sit in. I thought when I got in that the seat squabs, the bit that goes under your knees, was a bit short, and I still think it's a bit short, and sometimes that can lead to your legs feeling a little uncomfortable. But to be honest, with that car, I think those seats actually work superbly well. Now, another thing that the Tesla Model 3 has, that every Tesla has, is access to the supercharging network. If you've never had an electric car before, this is my third electric car, if you've never had an electric car before, you may not realise, if you have had an electric car before that wasn't a Tesla, you will realise just how good the supercharging network is. The confidence it gives you to be able to just get in that car and go wherever you want within reason, but just set off at a minute's notice and know that you will get where you want to go. There are very few places in the UK where you can't get to by using the Supercharging network. In fact, I'm not sure there are any unless you're trying to get to the Orkneys or something like that. You want to drive to Venice? I could get in my car now, it's at 90%, set off, put Venice in, and it would get me there. And I would be able to go from supercharger to supercharger. It is one of the biggest things that Tesla has. It's just a fantastic bonus. Okay, one thing that electric cars have that it's difficult to describe the difference, and it's the same on the Leaf and other electric cars I've had, is how smooth it is to drive. It's a really weird thing, but when I now get back in my wife's petrol car and drive that, it's an automatic, it's a 1 litre turbo, small car, but it feels jerky. It feels like it doesn't want to slow down, because obviously it doesn't have the regen braking, but it just doesn't feel smooth. And I think that's basically just in comparison. I mean, I would say her car, it's a Seat Arona, is a great car. It's cheap, and it's got everything I want on it, and it drives nicely. It's got lots of space in it for a small car. But just compare it to any electric car. Electric cars just have a whole level of smoothness. Electric cars are like your car is a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or something like that. You just get a really nice linear power delivery, which sounds a bit, pseudo-ish, but you really notice it when you drive an electric car. You just put your foot down and they go, and you put your foot on the brakes and they stop. Not that you have to use the brakes a lot. Okay, the next thing is the sound quality. Now, one of the advantages that Tesla have got, all Teslas, all electric cars, they don't have this engine up front or in the back that's making a lot of noise. Some people like that, but luxury car makers spend millions of pounds trying to reduce the sound that intrudes into the cabin. Electric cars obviously have a big advantage. The sound quality is really nice. You get going fast, you're going over 70, you will hear wind noise, but the reason you're hearing the wind noise is because you haven't got that engine competing with it. In most petrol cars, you don't hear the wind noise so much because you're hearing the drone of the engine. The other thing that really impressed me and surprised me is I got a call in the car the other day and used the hands-free. The quality of the sound on the hands-free is better than any other car I've had. To the point I was thinking, this sounds far too good. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just like, really? The sound quality is superb. Because normally I would go out of my way to not have to use in-car telephone systems because 90% of them are absolutely dreadful. Okay, software updates. Why is nobody else giving over-the-air software updates? Okay, I mean, Tesla, a few months ago, they released a software update. I don't know if it was the Model 3 or one of their other models, but it gave you 5% extra range and 5% more speed, better acceleration. Why is nobody else doing this? It just seems to me that this is the future of cars. They can add more features, they can add, more games, which obviously aren't particularly important, but they can change the screen layout around if they find a more ergonomic screen layout. All this stuff can be done with over-the-air software updates. The boot. Okay, it's got a big boot. These size cars, 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, Audi A4, they do have big butts. I don't think it's any particularly bigger than a lot of its competitors, but it is enormous. And because you don't have a rear axle effectively in the way, or a rear crankshaft, or whatever it's called, I don't know, the bit that goes from the rear to the front of a car in a rear-wheel drive car, you actually got a second boot underneath, which is really quite big. I mean, you could fit a large dog in there. You could fit a human body in, but it would have to be a child, I would say. I've no evidence for that, but I'm just going to say that. Don't try this at home, okay? And the last thing I want us to talk about, which I think I've covered everything, is the community. I'm quite active on Facebook. There is a Tesla Model 3 UK owners group on Facebook. Without fail, everybody in there is really nice. Everybody's really enthusiastic. Everybody's really cool. And they are very keen to help. So if you've got any questions, they will help. And if you've got questions and you feel like you don't want to answer them, just ask, because nobody's going to make you feel like an idiot. Okay, occasionally you get the same question, and early adopters obviously see this again and again and again, the same questions will come up. Nobody ever says, oh my God, why don't you go and look and see what else is posted and just come back when you've read the entire group, because you know that nobody's going to do that. I like to be in groups on Facebook where everybody tries to help each other, and nobody makes you feel like an idiot or a lesser person. Not just the Facebook community, but everybody. I mean, Tesla owners generally are a friendly bunch. Electric vehicle owners are a friendly bunch. I went to test a charger the other day up at Lidl in Lincoln, just to try it out. A friend had been up there before, he tried it out, he had a Zoe. I decided to go and give it a try out, plugged in, fine, went into Lidl, bought some chocolate. I sat in the car eating chocolate, another guy turned up in his Leaf, and we must have had over 30 minutes chat, just about electric vehicles. Really lovely guy, you know, really nice time. And that is, I think, part of what owning an electric vehicle is good. Is one of the good things about it. You will mix with a community of people that have similar feelings to you. A lot of people are keen on the environment, like me. I'm very environmentally friendly, try and be energy efficient. But some people are just car nuts. I'm a bit of a car nut. So you get all sorts, but generally they're a nice bunch of people. Okay, so lots of positive things to say there about the Tesla Model 3. I'm sure I've missed some stuff because, you know, I'm driving along and I think, oh, I really like that. And obviously I can't write it down at that point. I can't take a note on it. There'll be a second video which will be the things I don't like about the Model 3. Pretty much had to rack my brains to get that stuff. But there are some things that I'm not so keen on that I wish they would change. But generally, I'm really pleased with it. I'm you know, so pleased that I'm already looking about in 2 years when it goes back what I'm going to replace it with. And by that I mean which Tesla am I going to replace it with. Model 3, Model Y, Model S, probably not a Model X because there's only 2 of us. But yeah, I can't see myself buying another electric car as my main day-to-day car now. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that. Again, I'm Carl from Tesla Model 3 UK. Give a like, subscribe, whatever, thumbs up, I don't know what it is. But yeah, and obviously if you want to use my referral code, that'd be cool too. You'll get 1,000 free miles of supercharger usage. But if you're not, you know, make sure that if you order a car, you use somebody's referral code. Whether it's mine, whether it's somebody else's, doesn't matter. Use the referral code. Free supercharger miles are great. Okay, see you on the next video. Thanks very much. Bye.